Hey garden friends, welcome on back to Flower Patch. Today I'm going to share with you how to recognize dahlia gall, at least one form of it, and I'm going to share with you how I take cuttings from my dahlias that are sprouting to create more for free. So let's get rolling. So, question of the day, have you ever propagated dahlias by cuttings? It can be really a fun way to get more, and you know, they will actually create a tuber, your cuttings, once they've grown bigger. Forgive my chickens, they really want you to know that they've laid an egg. Or it could be the neighbors, they're up rebuilding the back deck of the house next door. Last year, not this last winter, the winter before, those deep heavy snows, we got 9 feet, you're going to hear construction noise. It ripped off their deck. So they're finally getting to repairing it. So that's all good, and we'll just put up with the construction noise. All right, friends. Yeah, I have never started dahlias from seed, or at least the ones I didn't have success with. I want you, if you want to follow someone who's been breeding her own and finally just got one to bring to market, a special variety that she developed, go to North Lawn Flower Farm, and it's really a fun thing to watch her bring a new variety to the market and what she loves about it. And yeah, I just have been enjoying that. Danielle is really great, very educational. Anyways, so just wanted to share that if you're into dahlias. Now, in the past, I have said I was going to stop growing dahlias because it takes them forever to come to fruition here, to get to bloom. I'm just cleaning up some spider webs while we're doing this. But these ones this last fall, I dug up. I had planted them in the containers. When I pulled them up, I just pulled up the entire container. Some I put in the basement, some I put here in the greenhouse, and they made it. The ones that I took out of the soil didn't. I just did a poor job of saving the tubers alone, but seeing how this works for me, I'm good with that. So let's talk about gall. Gall is something that infects dahlias. It seems like it's a widespread problem right now with many, even reputable growers. It is just something that's insidious. So it is something that can infect your dahlias. Now, if you have your dahlias in the soil, that bacteria that causes the gall can stick around for a couple of years. So that's why you really want to get rid of any dahlias that you have grown that show evidence of it. Now, I'm going to share with you a look at this one, and it has gall. I'm going to have to toss it, soil and everything. I don't want the soil around because it's infected with the bacteria. But you see this growth on it? You see right here? Hopefully that is focusing. And you see all these little nodules, really weird little things. Yeah, that is gall. Now here, I have one that I don't think has gall. But what I'm going to do to make sure is, sorry, my nose is itching, is I'm going to take it out of its pot, and I'm going to, okay, wrong hands. I am going to take the soil off gently. I don't want to disturb the growth here. And I'm going to see if it is infected with gall. Be double sure. So very carefully. I don't want to, I'll just be able to brush it down. Let me put my glasses on so I see what I'm doing. To get down to the top of the tubers to see if there's any evidence of the gall. So far, so good. These ones are pretty deep in here. Now, probably it would be ideal to wash them off, but, you know, gall is pretty evident. I do not see any evidence of gall. I'm just double checking carefully. Now, you see there's none of those white nodules, none of that funky growth on the tubers. So these are good to go. So This one has, I already took a couple cuttings from this. This one has quite a few. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, some recommend that you only have 4 or 5 stems coming up. So the rest you can take cuttings. So I am going to get me a couple of small pots. These are the clear pots that I get from Bootstrap Farmer. I like the clear. There's one that's chipped. Whatever. No big deal. It still does the job. Anyways, Bootstrap Farmer. And I like the clear because then I can see the roots when the roots have begun. So I'm just getting some soil in my container. I'll fill all of these. And I do it right to the, you see here's the rim and then here's this line. That's where I do to the line. And boy, that chicken is just full of it. I'm going to have to go hush her up. I was trying to get out here before the sun hits on my greenhouse because it gets very, very hot in here when the sun is glaring on it. The only problem is the chickens, that's when they lay their eggs and they're noisy about it. Just give me a second. I'll go see if I can hush her up. Okay. Well, I'm really glad I went out there. I did calm her down, but I've been having a chicken and I don't know which one. It pecks the eggs, and this one's been pecked, obviously. And they would have continued pecking until they opened it up, and then it would get more, it would get the egg yolk and all that on the other eggs, and then they start pecking those. So it was a good idea to go out and to get them. Okay, so where was I? I was going to take cuttings. I need to get back on track. Smooth my hair back down. I've been very disheveled today because I've been out and about. Anyways, so I have my rooting hormone, and I'm looking for my little container that I usually put it in. Okay, this one is it. And why I put it in a different one, because you don't want to contaminate. This is the type, this is not this by Bond Tone 2 rooting powder. Now this one isn't as strong as the one that I use for roses, and so you don't need very strong for this. These are more tender cuttings, and I need my paintbrush. I can do it with this toothbrush, huh? Sometimes that helps to do it. Now let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe I would like you to get close up. More close up. Let me see if I can move you over here. So here we go. They're hammering now, so forgive that noise back there. I'm hoping it's not overwhelming. I kind of doubt it is. Anyway, so here are the cuttings, or the stems that I'm going to take a cutting from. Now down here, I can see where it's got this nub right here, and there's some leaves starting. Let me see if you can see that. Anyways, I'm going to take that from below that point. And if you want to wait till they're a little bit taller, you can. But I'm just going to cut off these leaves, starts of leaves. And then I'm going to dip it in the hormone. And I use the brush because I don't have a ton of hormone in here. But I brush it up onto the stem with the paintbrush, or toothbrush. I use a paintbrush too. And then I'm going to make a hole in the medium. Now this is very dry. I should moisten it first. And that way the hole stays. And then I'm going to put, I'm going to have to turn my phone off just 1 second. So I'm going to go ahead and moisten these other two before I put the, did I not show you? I'm having a hard time today. Okay, so let's moisten this. I don't do the same with this one. Okay, good enough. Good enough. All right, over here. More that I could take. There's two really close together here. Now, can you see down in there? I'm going to point down in here. There's the line there. I'm going to cut below the line. And what I mean by the line is I mean this right here. So that's what I cut below. I nip off these leaves. Now I will say I am no expert at this. I've just done it here and there. Others probably have a different method. I've also shown you in the past where I took it, where I even cut a piece of the mother tuber off, and I found that was absolutely not necessary. So there's a couple of ways to do this. So I'm putting this down in there. And you see I just have that top part left. That's all good and moist. I'm going to put this one that was dry in there to soak up. And then I have this one. Let's see. So now how many do I have left on here? And I can go get another one of my plants out and do the inspection. Let's see if this one comes off, this old stem. I'll do the inspection. I'll see if I can do it closer up here for you. And then we'll take a cutting from that one instead of another one from this one. Now this one, it's very interesting. It's got, well, that one didn't make it. I wonder why. I wonder if it gets dried out. Anyways, I am going to put it over this container. Maybe I should back you up a little bit. Maybe not. Okay. I'm trying to view in my mirror, not mirror, but camera thing, and do this. So you see how I'm just shaking out the soil. This is very dry, so that's probably why that one was shriveled up. And I've been trying to get to this, and that's why I haven't put them out yet in landscape. Plus it was just not warm enough. Now this week it is going to be warm enough. And I got some, oh, a spider living in there. I'm sorry, Mr. Spider, you have got to go. So yeah, let me go ahead and take it completely out of the pot and try this. And let me see, I'm trying to chew this without breaking any more of the, well, it's not wanting to come out, but it did shake off more of the soil. There's the piece from last year. Some new growth coming up. I see no signs of gall at all. Now there's a piece of a tuber that, let me get these out of the way. Piece of a tuber, it's got a hole in it, so that doesn't need to stay. I don't have to worry about that one. But yeah, I'm not seeing any signs of gall, which at the base of where these were coming up from, you could usually see. Now I'm just going to be gentle and scrape that away from the tuber. Yeah, no signs of gall whatsoever. And that's probably been in your way the whole time, right? So anyways, no sign of gall. So I will just trim off this one that didn't make it. And this one over here. My bad, because it's been sitting out there and I haven't been keeping up with watering as well as I would like. But there's a bunch more coming up here, stems. Some over here. That one's kind of smallish. But anyway, so I could take, this is good cutting material here. So I'm going to take that one. You see, there's the line, but even better yet, here's another where it's a node. And that's the one I'm going to take it from. So let me get this over here. Sometimes I'm watching what I'm doing on the plant and I'm not looking in my camera. So I'm really hoping I'm being in the camera here. So I'm taking off these leaves too. And so now I have 2 leaf node areas. That's really premium as far as to get these rooted. So I cut off those extra leaves. I'll put this in here and I'll scrape up some of the rooting hormone to put on here. Now I'll put a link in the description box to the rooting hormone. You can get on Amazon. You can find them at garden centers, nurseries. Those places. And then my dauber, my pencil that I've been using, and now it's missing. So I will just go ahead and use the toothbrush handle, put it as deep as I can because I want both of these nodes to be covered. And there we go. So I'll let that soak up the water. So I don't know, some of these are all the same, the dahlias, and I did not name them when I put them away for the winter. I didn't think they'd make it. So I'll show you what I do now. I don't have a large cover for all of the containers, so I've been improvising for the moment. I'll turn the camera around and show you what I do. You see over here, I put this little lid on top of it. I do have big domes, and I should go into my basement and pull one out, but you can always find things that you can do it with. Here also, this is, oh no, did I get another sticky thing in my hair? Anyways, so you can improvise. Like this salad container, I've got some gladiolus that need to be planted in it, but this I'd use to plant things in, but if I turn it over, it makes a great lid to go on top of these, if that's what I needed to do. So I just want to show you when I was finished with the cuttings in the pots, got them all moistened, and then this is my makeshift little dome. Now it doesn't fit tightly, but you don't want it to. We just want to contain a little bit of moisture around that until they get started. And it gets pretty warm in here, so they'll need that moisture, but they'll be just fine with that extra humidity. And the warmth will actually help the rooting action. So I'll bring you back in, well, 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll see how well they are doing. And that, my friends, is how I take cuttings of dahlias I have, what dahlia gall looks like, the one I recognize. I'm sure there's another one out there. This one will be destroyed. I will not put it anywhere. I will not compost the soil, nothing. It goes out to the trash because that bacteria that causes it is in here, and it'll infect my other plants, my other dahlias. Now, I learned last year, and I mentioned it before, that you can actually transfer this type of gall to roses if you don't just get rid of them. And I didn't want that to happen. I've got a lot of roses I've invested in, and one dahlia is not worth it. Toss that baby out. You can pick them up pretty reasonably priced, so keeping a hold of this is not even an option. Another thing I wanted to mention is I was watching a British gardening show, and they went to a dahlia breeder grower, and he was saying that the cuttings from the tubers actually produced better quality flowers than the flowers from the tuber growth themselves. I don't know if that's accurate, but that was his observation. And so I thought, why not? So this year I'm sticking with the dahlias I have. If I run across a tuber, I mean, I've seen some that are just gorgeous and I'm tempted by, but I wanted to make sure first that these overwintered so that I could save from year to year successfully. My digging up and storing dahlia tubers in the basement without any soil has been hit and miss and not really worth it to me. So that's why I was testing this last winter, this method of storing them in these pots with soil in here in the greenhouse, which worked very, very well. As you can see, I have several in pots, which I'll examine all of them to see if any others have gall. I would doubt that just one would have it. I will not plant my dahlias in the same area that I had these last year because that bacteria or whatever it is in the soil there. So I will not replace or put any dahlias in that spot. I will find completely new areas to put these that have not had dahlias in them before, and we'll go with that. So I hope you found this helpful on dahlias. I do have a video, which I will link below, on how I pinch back dahlias so you get more branching and you get more flowers. I did one of those a couple years ago, and it's still good. These are not ready for me to prune back, therefore I'm not going to. And I will do it once they get big enough to do it. And I may take you along when I do that. The sun's about to come through. So I'm finishing up just in time here. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you gleaned a little bit from it. And if you get a chance, go on back and check out the irises that have started blooming. There are going to be more coming in the next week. I will do another weekly garden tour this weekend. I think this is the first weekend of June coming up. And yeah, it'll be beautiful. And this is the time of year that things just start popping for me. And things really come into bloom and look great. And I have some tomatoes, plants, and stuff I need to gift away. I need to put them on Facebook Marketplace or something. So yeah, go on back, look at the dahlia pruning. I have another, oh, and the other dahlia cutting method that I shared. That one is on there too, as well as I have blog posts. So please go ahead and check out the blog post too. All is good. So I'll see you in the next video.